Hey guys, J. Michael here. I just released my new CD, Vices or Virtues, a couple weeks ago. Really excited about that. Hope you all got it. If not, you need to get it. Anyways, I thought it'd be kind of cool to go through and talk about some of my songs, share a little bit about why I wrote them and what they mean to me. And the first song we're gonna do is the first song on my CD, which is I Love You More. I love you more than anything else in the whole wide world. Oh, you make me new. I never knew love till I found you. I love you more than anything else in the whole wide world. Oh, you make me new. I never knew love till I found you. Whenever you come out with a new CD, you always want one of your strongest, catchiest songs at the beginning. Otherwise, people will put their CD in their CD player, start listening, and be like, this song sucks, this little CD sucks, and they'll throw it right in the trash. Not for me. So I was thinking, man, what song do I want to pull people in? And I knew exactly what I wanted. I want this song, I Love You More, to be at the beginning of the CD. It's fun, it's upbeat, it's got a catchy chorus, it's got a strong message, pop rock. Does a really good job of representing me and who I am. I was dating my wife Felicia at the time. We were driving around somewhere in my car, and I just started singing these really cheesy lyrics that I just made up in my head, like I love you more, and just started singing it to her. And after I sang, I was like, you know what? I kind of like this. Yeah. So then I recorded it on my cell phone, my old cell phone, which I have right here. I thought maybe I could play it for you guys.
I love you more than anyone's ever loved you before.
Yeah, that's all that it was. And it's obviously come a long way since then, but I had the chorus and I really liked that. And I was like, okay, that kind of came to a fork in the road. This could be one of those love songs written to whoever, you know, an all-inclusive love song to your grandma, to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, whatever. Or it could be a song that's written specifically to a person or to God. And I was like, you know, I don't have a whole lot of songs that are love songs written specifically towards God. So that's when I decided, you know, I gotta make verses that are gonna capture that. This is a love song written to God. So the first verse comes right out of Ezekiel 37 in the Bible. God brings Ezekiel, the prophet, by his spirit to this valley full of dry bones. And this is what he tells Ezekiel to do. Ezekiel 37, starting verse 4. Then he said to me, talking about the Lord, he said, prophesy to these bones and say to them, dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says to these bones. I will make breath enter you, and you will come to life. I will attach tendons to you, and make flesh come upon you, and cover you with skin. I will breathe in you, and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord. So Ezekiel prophesies as God told him to do, and that's exactly what happened. Just imagine being Ezekiel in this valley full of dry bones, and all of a sudden these bones just start click, 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 like coming together and bone on bone, and then this flesh and tendons start, like, I don't know, growing or coming on them, and then skin covers them, and then God breathes his breath into them, and then they stand up, and then it says there's a vast army of people that once was just dead and dry bones, and now there's these alive people. God took something that was old and dead and gone, and he made it new. So I had my first verse, which I really, really loved. I thought it was really strong. And I was like, what on earth am I going to do for a second verse? So I got my Bible out, and I opened my Bible to John chapter 11 and started reading the story. It's a story about Mary and Martha's brother, Lazarus, who becomes sick and then dies. And Jesus doesn't show up until 4 days after he's been dead. And he tells the people, roll away the stone. So they roll the stone away, and then he comes and he says, Lazarus, come forth. And then I want to read this to you because I read this today and I thought, I was like, what? I never really caught that before. But he says, Lazarus, come out. All right, that's what the NIV says. And the dead man came out. It doesn't say Lazarus came out, but it says the dead man came out, which makes me think of like a zombie coming out, right? His hands and his feet wrapped with strips of linen and a cloth around his face. Like, can you imagine being Lazarus, right? Doing what dead people do, just being dead, sitting there, not really doing anything. I don't know what that's like. But all of a sudden, somebody says, Lazarus, come forth. And then, like, what's going on, right? Like, 1 minute, you're dead. The next second, you're like, back alive. It's crazy. Now, we've all been to a funeral before. Say a friend or family member has passed on. And so you and your family go to the calling hours that day, and you walk into the room, the mood's very solemn, the lighting's very low, the conversation's very quiet, and you and your family are just grieving the loss. Then say a guy just walks into the funeral home and he says, lift the lid to the casket. And so they lift the lid of the casket, and he says, Grandma, come forth. Then all of a sudden, everybody's watching, what's going to happen? Grandma sits up and she's back, right? That's crazy to think about, but that's exactly what happened in this story. Jesus shows up on the scene, 4 days late. Lazarus has already been dead, and he says, roll the stone away. So they roll the stone away. And he says, Lazarus, come forth, right? And then Lazarus, this dead man, gets up and walks out. And everybody's just blown away, right? But in the same way, that's exactly what Christ has done for me. I was dead as dead gets. And then Christ shows up on the scene, and he washes away my sins, and he gives me new life. And you know what? That's exactly what this song, I Love You More, means to me.